A company has come out with an app, an iPhone app that can actually detect cancer and other diseases. We've got some more info for you. It is called the SniffPhone. It's the Nano's breathalyzer, and by identifying the special odor emitted by cancer cells, the Nano's system can detect the presence of tumors, both benign and malignant, more quickly, efficiently, and cheaply than previously possible. And we've got a little more information. The plan calls for a chip with Nano's technology to be installed in a device that is attached to a smartphone and for an app to read the sensor data, analyzing it on the device. The Nano system has a 90% accuracy rate. So basically, you're just connecting something to your phone, you blow in it, and then 90%. I mean, this is really incredible. Like, we think of all the apps that we all love, and Instagram and Twitter and blah, 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 but like, this is kind of
You can connect it right next to your breathalyzer app.
Yeah.
You can get behind the wheel.
Right, so first you make sure you're not drunk, that's good, you blow into that, and then
Will it tell you if you have halitosis? Because that's
I would imagine that it probably could, because it does other conditions.
So then there's
as
another
well.
question, right? I mean, I know you brought it up as, iPhone app.
Yeah.
I mean, are other Android users screwed on this? Do we not?
Well, they're going to release it,
right?
You get a tumor, no one cares.
Yeah. Generally, they release these things for the iPhone first, and then your people, it comes around. I mean, this is just great, right? Like, this is just such a beautiful use of technology, right?
Well, I want them. Can they put that into the robot dog, and it can be like sniff out bombs or something?
Robot dog, what's he talking about? There's an annotation right here from earlier. Right, well, but these are all the things that they'll be able to do, right? So they'll be able to attach this technology probably to sniff out bombs. I mean, all of this stuff.
Although, again, we get it. Everything's tying together this week. Who gets access to that information once your phone knows that you have cancer?
So then you're saying the
it's
government...
not just between you and your doctor. Suddenly, it's out there for whoever is looking at what's going on.
Amazingly, I love to go in that direction with all these stories. I wasn't going to do it here. I was just going to focus on the good parts of this. Is there some risk in here, maybe, that when we are able to detect all this stuff on our own, that maybe we wouldn't go to proper doctors?
That's what I was thinking, actually.
Because even with a 90% success rate, I'm going to guess that there's a disclaimer when they start selling this thing that's saying, you still should go to your doctor and get your checkup and all that.
I mean,
stuff.
you can't have a false positive. You can't have a false positive,
Sure.
And so in that aspect, then you do wonder, people then go, oh, I know. And then there's people who like to take their own remedies.
Yeah.
They're like, they don't know what the doctor's pumping into them, all that stuff. So that may rise, but the first thought is that overall cases, of least late notifications, will lower, which I think is great. Yeah, of course. I mean, everyone, I think, has been affected in some way from someone that had cancer.
Sure.
So I think everyone can. There's not too many bad things you can find.
No, there's definitely, it's mostly upside. I'm just being alarmist because I'm hanging out with you today. But,
I do bring that out in you.
But the thing also is, are people going to their doctor's offices and taking the cancer breathalyzer? Like, I've never heard about people having tumor breath before.
No, but that's the genius of this thing. Like, they've figured out this
I always thought it was a blood test or, CAT scans and things.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, that I guess there would be some risk in that this thing, it's not 100%, but I would imagine that most of those tests...
I guess what I'm saying is there's sort of two levels going on here. One, that there's an app that will do all this, but secondly, that there's a breathing test that tells you that you have cancer. Like, that's, maybe I'm just not
hard to believe,
following the news, but I'd never heard of this.
Well, because these freaking scientists, they're hanging out in science places all the time, working on science, when we're up here yapping about God knows what. Anyway, this is pretty cool. I don't see any way around it. Anyway, what do you think? Let us know in the comments right down below.